Now we'll start with the presentation. Okay. Hello, do camera slightly down. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Hello everyone, my name is Parmarina and my topic is the feeling of love and its development in Elizabeth and Darcy. This is my personal information and these are some points which I am going through. Jane Austen. So I would like to start my presentation with writer of this novel, Jane Austen. Jane Austen was the daughter of a Hampshire Hampshire clergyman and she was born at Steventon. She was educated at home. Her father was a man of good taste in choice of reading material, and Jane's education was conducted on sound lines. On the death of the rector, his wife and two daughters removed to the neighborhood of Southampton, where the majority of John Austen's novels were written, and her first published work is Pride and Prejudice, and it was issued anonymously, and she died in middle age and before her merits and received anything like adequate recognition. Uh, the introduction of this uh, novel. Pride and Prejudice is Jane Austen's first novel, which was published in 1813, and in it, as in all her works, have middle class people pursuing the common round. The heroine of this novel is a girl of spirit, but she has no extraordinary questions. Her prejudice and the pride of rank and wealth are gently put, but pleasingly uh, titillated. In this Romanticism era, the primary focus of romance novels is on the relationship and romantic love between two people that must have an emotionally satisfying and optimistic ending. The opening of this novel, each of Jane Austen's other novels being by using one of its principal uh, characters. Only Pride and Prejudice begins with this uh, aphorism. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. This line claims that a wealthy man must be looking for a wife, and also a single woman must be in want of a husband, especially in wealthy one. So that she can become financially independent. And the characters of Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy. First, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the second daughter in the Bennet family, and and she is the most intelligent and quick-witted. She was the protagonist of Pride and Prejudice and one of the most well-known female actors in English literature. She is lovely, clever, and in a novel defined by dialogue, she convinces as brilliantly as anyone. She is important. figure in this novel. She is very lovely, clever, and she know how to deal with things. Darcy, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy has become a legend and the definition of a gentleman. He is described as handsome, fine, and tall, and he overall gives the air of being a noble gentleman. In this novel, Mr. Darcy is not humble until Elizabeth rejects his marriage proposal. After the refusal, Mr. Darcy overcome his pride and Elizabeth her prejudice, and they can finally accepted each other and fall in love. When Mr. Darcy proposed Elizabeth rejected his proposal because she thinks that if she didn't like anyone, then she don't marry him. Ra- the first proposal of Mr. Darcy. In his first proposal to Elizabeth, she returns him down because Mr. Darcy has been the cause of her sister Jane's unhappiness. Elizabeth believes Wickham to be the innocent and Darcy to be the brute. Mr. Darcy's proposal is evidence of his inner struggle between his individuality and his pride inherited through birth. Uh, this is the picture of Mr. Darcy's proposal that he proposed when he proposed he said this in when I have struggled I will not do my feeling will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love her. Mr. Darcy's letter for Elizabeth. After Elizabeth rejected his proposal, he writes to her explaining and justifying his treatment of Wickham. In his letter, he reveals to her that during the previous summer, he had prevented his sister Georgiana, then 15 years old, from eloping with Wickham. The effect on Darcy of this indent is apparent through the action and the marriage of Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy. Marriage between Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy is successful, despite Elizabeth's worries not of not marrying him at first. Because of Darcy's letter, Elizabeth realized that shortcomings, they change and acknowledge their mistakes and develop their relationship gradually. So at the end, they both understand each other's feelings and they both accept each other. Conclusion. To conclude, we could say that this novel advocates for morality, good manners, and behavior, mutual respect between all people. This is my work cited. Thank you. So, do you have any question? Thank you. According to me, the marriage of Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy is appropriate because they, at the end of when the novel starts, they both have misunderstanding about each other, and at the end they understand what they make mistakes and they accept each other.
Hina, as you have mentioned the proposal of Mr. Darcy. So while proposing Elizabeth, he gone through the struggle with his pride or feeling. Can you elaborate it that he was struggling between his feeling or and pride?
Yeah, yes, when Mr. Darcy proposed Elizabeth, he struggled with his pride because he belongs to upper class, and he has pride about his class. That's why he very